Hey everybody, Vicious Grandma here, back for part 9 of Dragon Warrior 2. Um, if you watched part 8 of me trying to finish this game, I got a bit frustrated because none of the NPCs were really telling me what I was supposed to be doing, um, which is very frustrating, but also a very common problem. If you think about if you think about gaming in the late 80s, 90s, in your instruction manual, there would always be a number for like tips and hints that you would call, and then someone would come and I don't think you guys could hear me because my microphone was on. Hopefully, you can hear me now. So, yeah, so let's talk about that. What I was saying before no one could hear me was that there was a thing back in the late 80s, 90s where if you needed tips or helps or tricks, you could call this 900 number and people would give you help. I can't remember how much it was. I think it was like 99 cents a minute, 50 cents, maybe a dollar, like something really ridiculous. Um, I can remember. So I feel like, especially some of these older games where you have no idea, and this is before you could go on the internet and try to find stuff. Or you could buy a player's guide if they had them, which I know I bought a couple player's guides, but they weren't like player's guide for specific games. It was like, hey, here's some tips and tricks for games that you don't know. And it was always like a compilation of a bunch of games. I think I still have one in my player's guide storage, but it's stuff like that where you didn't have access to anything unless you called a number and someone told you what to do. So I feel like with Dragon Warrior 2, if I was, back in little boy me, I probably would have been like, ooh, can I call this number? Because I really had no idea where I was going. Or I would have just, screw this, I'm not playing this game anymore. Um, so that's where we're at. So unfortunately, since I have no idea where I'm going, I had to do some investigating. And sure enough, I was able to, had something stuck on my tooth, gross. Um, but apparently I had something that I needed to do some backtracking. First thing was is that apparently there's something in the North Dragonhorn Tower that is significant to something to unlock later. So I have to go back there, which when I did that teleportation to get away from those metal slimes, my boat's in the wrong place. So I have to kind of figure out how to sail out to get back out to the main ocean. The other thing is that there's a point where you can get the magic key, which opens up those red doors. And so you have to backtrack and find that. So then that can kind of help you get some stronger equipment for your main character. Because you're supposed to get the equipment of your ancestor that you played as in Dragon Warrior 1. Where was all this information talking to NPCs? Nowhere. Except for the people who say, don't talk to me. I don't have anything important to say. Like, that doesn't help me. So, let's go and figure out what we're going to do. Alright.